Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. Today's video is going to be another one brand look. This time it's going to be NYX makeup. So I have obtained a complete full face of NYX products. So I have got a few first impressions in here as well because I obviously had some things missing, so I bought them for this month. So a few things are new to me. Some of this stuff I've had in my collection for a while, so obviously I'll talk about which things I like a lot, which things I'm not so keen on. I feel like most of it I do generally quite like though, so let's get into it, let's get started. So as usual we're going to start with eyeshadow, so I need a concealer base. The only concealers from NYX I have at the moment are the Can't Stop, Won't Stop ones. I've got it in two shades, so I've got pale and I've got fair. I've tried other NYX concealers in the past. I can't remember what they're called. I think one's called like the HD ones or something. It's like the original concealer they had. I've tried that. Don't really remember what I think of it. I think it was okay. And I tried the little one they had in a pot as well. I used to use that as an eyeshadow base a lot. I think I ended up using it all up. I know they came out with a Born to Glow one recently to kind of go with the foundation, but Peggy in my comments said that she wasn't the biggest fan of it, and I don't know, it doesn't really seem like the sort of thing I'd be into either. So we'll stick with our Can't Stop, Won't Stop one. I'll use the shade Fair. So that's been a while since I've used these. I think I had sort of mixed thoughts on them. Like I kind of liked them. I found them a little bit drying, I think. That was my issue with them. But like they're decent. So I'm just going to use this as an eye base. Okay, it actually does have really good coverage, I will admit. The eyeshadow palette I have is this guy here, the Ultimate Utopia palette. This is one of their most recent releases. This was such a ball ache to get in the UK. Got it off this website called Care to Beauty, and I had to pay quite a lot for it. I think it was like about £48. And I was really annoyed. It was like a week after I made my purchase, I saw that it came on Notino, which is a different website, and it was like about half the price of that. So that was really irritating. So I spent more on this than I needed to, but I did really want it because I'd seen it on Instagram and I thought like the colour scheme looked really nice. Would have rather paid like less for it, but hey, at least we have it. I've not actually used it at all yet, so this will be my first time playing around with it. The only other palette I've tried from NYX is, I'll put a little screenshot of it. It was like that little rainbow quad thing, and from my memory I wasn't the biggest fan of it because I did end up decluttering it. I do also have a few like loose pigments and glitters from them, but I won't be using them today. I'm going to go off camera and do one eye, and then I will repeat it on camera. Okay, we are back with this eyeshadow look. These green shimmers are stunning. I love them. So far, definitely enjoying the eyeshadow palette. I think the shades have all performed pretty well, so let's do this again. So I started with this light sort of orangey brown shade up here, and that's going in the crease area. Then I'm using this sort of caramelly brown shade here. I then use a bit of this very pale creamy shade up here, and I'm putting that sort of in the brow bone kind of area, just kind of blending out the transition shades with it. Then I'm using this dark red shade here and putting that in the outer third. Then I'm using some of the matte black and putting that in the outer third. And I'm going back to the Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer, and I'm going to do a cut crease. Then I'm using this kind of goldy greeny shade here, and that's going in the inner third of that cut crease. And then I'm switching to the green shimmer here. That's an absolutely stunning shade, and that's going in the rest of that. Then I'm using a bit of this, again, creamy sort of shimmery colour up here under the brow bone. the eyeshadow done. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with the palette from first use. Obviously, there's so many shades in that. So I'm going to have to do as many looks as I can with that. But moving on to eyeliner, so I've got the NYX Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and Definitely a Turn On Waterproof Extreme Shine Eyeliner in Jet Black. God, that is a mouthful of a name. It's just a standard kohl pencil. So I'm going to pop that in my top and bottom waterlines. And I've also got a liquid liner from them, so this is the Epic Ink liner. It's a 5-tip one. I tried this in my first impressions, which I filmed yesterday actually. So I'm going to attempt to do a little wing. In my first impressions I accidentally made this way bigger than I intended to, so I'll probably end up doing that again. Okay, that winged eyeliner is adequate. I don't hate it. It's not monstrous. Moving on to mascara. This is actually a first impression. I've not tried this yet. I've not tried any mascaras from NYX before. And so this is the Worth the Hype one. It came out like about a year ago, and then I know they had like a, I think it's called On the Rise or something recently. I felt like both of them had sort of mixed reviews, but I feel like On the Rise had more bad reviews, so I went for this one instead. But yeah, there's a lot of mixed reviews for NYX mascaras, so I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to get, but obviously I needed one for this video, so hopefully it's not bad. Obviously I've got liquid eyeliner on now, so you're not going to be able to kind of see it in its full glory. It will be detracted a bit from, but nonetheless, let's just apply this to our lashes. I'm pretty happy with that mascara actually. Obviously I need to see what it looks like with no like heavy eye makeup on. That actually does seem to have a decent amount of volume, so I'm quite happy with that actually. So I was just watching my one brand NYX video that I did about 2 years ago. I will put a card up for that if you're interested. It's very old and yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I actually lied, I have tried a NYX mascara before. It's the stacked one. Obviously it was a while ago, 2 years ago, so I don't really remember what I thought about it, but I don't think I was the biggest fan of it, because I probably would have spoken about it more on my channel if I was. Okay, so moving on to base, I have got 2 primers to choose from. This one I just got and tried in my first impressions. It's the High Glass face primer, and I did really like it. I have also got this oldie but goodie, the NYX Honey Dew Me Up. I like this. This is probably one of the primers that I would reach for in my collection of primers, because I'm not really into primers that much. But this one I do like, but I'm going to use my High Glass one today because it's new. It's a very subtle sheen under foundation. It's in the shade Moonbeam. I think it comes in about 3 shades. For foundation, we're going to be using the Born to Glow foundation because this is the only NYX one I have at the moment. I have tried the Can't Stop Won't Stop one, but I had to get rid of that because the bottle was broken. And see, I wasn't really the biggest fan of that one either because I just found it looked quite like dry and grainy on the skin. Also tried the Control Drop one. That's the one that I used in my previous full face of NYX video, but obviously it's hella old. I had to declutter it, so that just leaves me with this guy, which again, it's not my favourite. It's okay, it's got good coverage, and I remember it wearing quite well. I've obviously spoken about it on my channel in an updated makeup review somewhere. If I can find that video, I'll put the card up for it. It's just a little bit too glowy, a little bit too oily for me, which I mean makes sense because it is called a Born to Glow foundation, so you would have thought just it's not bad enough for me to want to declutter it though. So here it is. It's in the shade Pale. I think it's a little bit too light for me. It's definitely very warm toned, but it seems to be leaking everywhere as well, which is not great because now it's just gone on my socks. No, not ideal. It's not actually a bad foundation. It's got like pretty decent coverage. The finish is nice. It's just a little bit too dewy for me, but they're saying that I thought it would actually look dewier than it has today on my skin, and that is with a glowy primer under as well. But I don't actually mind this foundation. It's okay, but I just would prefer it to be slightly matter, but it has got pretty good coverage, and I remember it wearing like decently, so you know, happy to use it, definitely. So we're going to go back to our Can't Stop Won't Stop concealers, which are, these ones are a bit more on the drier side anyway, so that's going to counteract the glowy foundation. So I'm going to use the shade Pale under my eyes as a brightening shade, and then I'll use Fair just on any blemishes. Okay, so for setting powder, I've got 3 on me at the moment. So this one I've got in my last first impressions video. It's the Can't Stop Won't Stop Loose setting powder in light. Quite liked it in my first impressions. I've also got the Can't Stop Won't Stop powder foundation. I had this for quite a while now. As you can see, I've hit pan on it. It's in the shade Pale. And then I've also got the Stay Matte But Not Flat powder foundation. Again, this is quite old in my collection now. It's in Alabaster. I have a feeling this one might be discontinued now. Again, I've hit pan on that. So I think I'm going to use both of the Can't Stop Won't Stop ones. So I'll use this one to do my under eyes, and then the pressed one to set the rest of my face down. Okay, so starting with the loose one, I'm going to do my under eyes using the powdery sponge. Okay, and now switching to the Can't Stop Won't Stop pressed powder. I'm going to use this to set the rest of my face down. Okay, so I have to admit that this base is very flawless, very full coverage. I feel like together all of these products actually work pretty well. Okay, so moving on to cheeks. The one thing I very much struggled to get from NYX was a bronzer. So I did end up getting this California Beaming bronzer, but as you can see, it arrived hella smashed. This is kind of like unsalvageable at this point. I got it in the lighter shade, which I think was Free Spirit, but I don't know if you can see, I feel like this looks incredibly dark for the lighter shade. That looks like very like sort of muddy, like chocolatey. I just don't see how that's a good shade for pale skin. Obviously it did have other shades, so this was the lightest one, but I don't know if maybe they weren't like ordered by lightness possibly. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just don't really want to use this at all. That does kind of leave me with limited options. I have got this Strobe of Genius highlighting palette from them, which kind of has these sort of shades here that I could kind of use as like glowy bronzers. I do think this is discontinued though. You might be able to find it on eBay possibly. I could also try and use one of these eyeshadow shades maybe. I don't know, maybe this will be a bit dark, but I do like the tone of this shade here, the caramel kind of one. So I might just get like a small brush and sort of see if I can kind of diffuse it outwards and use it as a bronzer. This might not go well, but we'll see. I'll probably use one of those glowy shades from the Strobe of Genius palette as well. Yeah, I think this might be a bit too dark, possibly. But it's alright, we'll blend it out. We'll diffuse it. It might work. Okay, that might not have been one of my better ideas. It doesn't look the best, but it's something. I'm gonna try this shade here then in the Strobe of Genius palette and add that in the bronzy areas. I don't have a blush from NYX, but that's okay. Blush is kind of optional for me anyway. So highlighter, obviously I have got this palette that I've just mentioned. I do also have one of their Duo Chromatic Illuminating Powders. I'm not sure if they still make these. And I have got their Born to Glow highlighter. I'm pretty sure they still do this one. I'm pretty sure somebody asked me about this like not long ago on my channel, so I think I will give this one a go today. It's been a while since I've used it. So it is in the shade Stand Your Ground. It's like a nice silvery pale shade. So I'm just gonna put this all over in my highlighter spots. I say that is a pretty nice highlighter. It's very like wet looking, which I think is really nice. And it's definitely pigmented. Shade obviously works perfectly for me. Yeah, that's a pretty nice highlighter. I should probably use that some more. Moving on to eyebrows. So I have got the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. I've had this for years now. It's getting quite old, but I did pick this one up recently. So this is the eyebrow gel. It's sort of like a kind of paint on your brows kind of thing. So I think I will use this one today because I've not used it yet. I'm just going to use a spoolie to brush through my brows to to start with, and then I'll get like an angled eyebrow brush here, and I guess do a bit of painting of the brows. So the shade for this is Espresso. It's just a quite dark brown shade. Just got a little bit on the back of my hand, and we'll see how pigmented this is. Hopefully this doesn't come out too harsh. That's not done a too bad job. Obviously it's like a bit more time consuming than just using like a regular gel, but I actually do like the effect of it. The colour's pretty good. Yeah, it's quite fun. I do also have the classic NYX micro brow pencil. I feel like this is the original micro brow pencil. I feel like this kind of started it all. I don't really need much more with my brows. I feel like that gel kind of works fine on its own, but I've got it here, so I might as well just use it and add a little bit more definition, I guess. So I have seen that NYX is bringing out this sort of like glue brow gel thing, so I definitely will want to give that a go once it comes to the UK. I'm going to put a bit of the Born to Glow highlighter in my inner corners of my eyes. Okay, so back to the palette. Probably going to stick to the same shades I used earlier, so I'll start with a bit of this one, followed by a bit of this one, and then I'll probably put a bit of black right up at the lash line. Okay, and back to mascara. I'm going to use Worth the Hype on my bottom lashes. Okay, so for lips, my favourite lip products I have from NYX are their suede matte lipsticks. I've got this in two shades. I've got Munchies and Dainty Days. One's a bit more cool toned, one's a bit more pinky. I do have some of these skinny lipping liquid lipsticks as well, but not really into liquid lipsticks that much these days, but I did really like the shades of those I have. But I'm going to stick with these guys. I think I'm going to use Dainty Days today because I'm feeling something a bit more like conventional nude. I really like these. I love a matte bullet lipstick. These actually are matte, but they're very smooth and very opaque. Okay, so that's everything. I do have the setting spray from them, but I'll use that once I've sorted my hair out and cleaned up my mascara mess. So back in a sec. Okay, we're back. So last thing I'm going to use is the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. Did I get this year? I think I got this earlier this year. It's okay. It's an alright setting spray. It's not one of my favourites, but I've only got about like 6 setting sprays anyway, so let's just pop some of this on. Okay, so we finished. This is the finished full face only using NYX. I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. I feel like the base in particular looks super flawless. Really impressive how they all came together. So I feel like pretty much all the products I used today, like, I really liked. Eyeshadow palette I think worked really well. These green shades, absolutely stunning. The mattes worked great. Need to play around with it a lot more though. Eyeliner's fine. Mascara, actually quite liking a mascara. Obviously I need to use it without heavy eye makeup on so I can see it like without any distractions, but I feel like it worked really well. It's got good volume. All the base products combined I feel like worked great. Love this lipstick. Highlighter was really nice. Obviously it didn't really have much in terms of bronzer. This eyebrow gel I think's worked pretty decently. Quite happy with that. So yeah, I think the next one brand look I'll do is probably going to be e.l.f. just because I've seen that they're releasing like a new sort of CC cream thing, and if one thing I was kind of waiting for was like a new foundation, because I wasn't really a big fan of their Flawless Finish, I think that's what it's called, foundation. I did declutter that, so I just wanted them to come out with a new foundation, so I think I'll probably do e.l.f. as the next one brand look. But that's it for this video, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.